What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ivan Martinez, otherwise known as Mr. Martinez, and today we're covering Parkas. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, definitely go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also go ahead and hit that bell button to receive notifications every time I post a new video. As I mentioned before, we are going to go ahead and talk about Parkas. I am from Minnesota, and the weather here is definitely not forgiving, especially the winter. The parka has definitely been a lifesaver for me. The parka has always been like my go-to for like heavy winter stuff. Anything like below like 20 degrees or maybe even 30 degrees, depending on like the wind and stuff like that, I'm always going to be wearing a parka. Top coats are cool, and so are like other coats, pea coats, but the parka is definitely going to be like a better coat for frigid winters. Now, if you haven't seen my last video on frigid winters, you guys can definitely go ahead and check that out up here. So what will be covered in this video as far as parkas go, we're going to talk about one, history, then we're going to go ahead and talk about the fit, we're going ahead and talk about characteristics, and lastly we'll talk about style. So let's go ahead and jump in with history. So I've always wanted to know the background behind the stuff that I'm actually wearing. It always makes it cooler to know how something got to be and like where it came from in order for me to actually be wearing it. So as far as the history of the parka, it does come from the Inuit people in like the high northern part of Canada, and I mean basically people just needed it in order to be warmer and to stay basically alive and to survive. So they basically had this coat and then they fur lined it, and most of the time women wore these, which I found a little bit funny. And it also had like a baby pouch in front in order to like carry their baby, so almost like a kangaroo thing. But I found that very interesting. So it basically comes from there, but then thereafter it was incorporated by the army. It's funny how many of these coats, these jackets, everything else kind of just comes and prevails from a military background. Now after the military, then in the 1950s and 1960s, a lot of people in England were actually wearing these things, and they were actually wearing them over suits. So then that's where it definitely prevailed, and that's when you see it, like most of the parka just come out into like popular culture, and that's when you see a lot of the mass wearing them. So now that we've talked about the history, let's go ahead and talk about the characteristics. Alright, so what's the first characteristic? We'll take it from the top to bottom. So first off, this definitely has a hood. So this coat has a fur lined hood. This is from Target actually, and it's super good. A lot of people on Instagram are always asking me where I got this parka. It's from Target. Wasn't super expensive. I actually got it on clearance. Can never go wrong with clearance items. But going back to the characteristics here, so again, it's fur lined hood. This one does have pockets on the chest. Originally, I don't think they actually have the pockets on the chest. That's just something that's added. Again, just different brands will have different styles of pockets. Now on the bottom you will have bigger patch pockets. I think that these patch pockets are super useful for like, you know, like your gloves, your phone, all the other stuff that you carry. So I always found it more useful to wear this jacket, especially when I have to have a lot of things with me, especially like I'm a dad, so then I have to like carry a bunch of stuff. So if I could carry like a bottle inside a pocket, it's super useful. In the mid section you'll see that you have a zipper running up and down. For the most part, at least the parkas that I have this one, then I have another red one here in the back. I'll show you guys like throughout like the course of the video. For the most part they are double zip, and this is probably my favorite feature of the parka, because I like double zip jacket just because you could give a better silhouette to the body. Moving on to the sleeves, you'll see that it has Velcro on the sleeves. They might come in a different manner, but these are Velcro, and this just happens to be just to tighten or fasten the sleeve tighter to you, especially just to keep you warm, because when you need to be warm, you definitely don't want any cold air running through your sleeves or anywhere. So just tightening these things down will make your arm just a little bit warmer. Another thing to add on to the sleeve for a parka, you will definitely have like this little mid sleeve, and this just, it gives you an extra layer of protection. This usually goes over like my gloves and stuff, so it just gives me an added like layer. So once you with the Velcro. Once you hook that on, then you have this there, so then that way the cold air won't seep in. Now moving on to the interior, I don't know if you'll be able to see it here, but you can tighten it to just give it a better silhouette again in the midsection if you tighten it here. Now I'd say if the jacket is just a little bit too big, definitely go ahead and fasten a little bit more in the midsection, but if you don't have to, definitely don't mess with it, because as soon as you start messing with the drawstrings, you start messing up the jacket, and one side's longer than the other. It's like kind of like hoodies. Like, you ever mess around with drawstrings and you're just like now one side's longer than the other, so you have to mess around for like 10 minutes. But anyways, so getting back to the parka, so you do have those drawstrings through the midsection. You usually have really nice lining in the inside as well that'll just kind of like define the jacket, and just to give you like an added insulation to the coat. Another characteristic sometimes that you'll see on the midsection of a parka, I busted out my red parka here. This one's from Express. If you guys wanted to pick one up, go ahead and go to the link down in the description. I actually just got this one this season, so I'm pretty sure that they still have them, and it might not even be on sale right now, just because we're also like getting into the last part of winter. On this coat, you will see that this one actually has buttons on the midsection, and this just makes it easier to fasten. It also has buttons here on the pockets, so the big pockets as well, and it's just a different method of doing that. So a lot of different ways that companies and brands do their parkas, so it really is up to you and kind of like what you need it for and how you want to style it. Let's go ahead and talk about the fit of the parka. Now, in my opinion, there's like very little things that you have to look for as far as fit. It's not really that hard, but people tend to wear stuff that's a little bit too big, and people tend to wear them a little bit too small. So that being mentioned, there's like, maybe in my opinion, like 3 key points that you have to understand on the parka. So one is going to be the sleeve length. Now, as far as the sleeve length goes, you want it to be a little bit over your wrist and maybe over like the first knuckle of your thumb, at least to cover up most of your hand. Even if you don't wear gloves, you should be able to be relatively warm. You can stick your hands in your pockets, you'll be good to go. But if you're wearing gloves, then it's going to keep your glove secure, and then because you have that over part on the sleeve there, it's just going to keep you super warm, and it's just going to make sure that no cold air gets in there. Second thing you have to look for as far as fit is your shoulders. Now, your shoulders, just like your suit jacket, are going to be super important, because most of the time, if the jacket isn't going to fit you over your shoulders, it's not going to fit you through the midsection, so you won't be able to zip it up. And if it's too tight there, then that means that you won't be able to layer anything else under it. My favorite way to style the parka, and just like I do with like top coats, I like to wear like denim jackets under it. It just looks really nice when you wear like another jacket over or under, excuse me, the actual coat. It just gives you the added layer of warmth, and then it also gives you that extra layer of style. Lastly, the length. When it comes to length, it should fit you a little long, but it shouldn't fit you like your top coat long. If you want to go ahead and see a video as far as top coats, definitely go ahead and leave me in the comments with a yes, and I will go ahead and make a video on top coats. I have a lot of them, and I would definitely love to make a video on that. So just go ahead, go down there on the comment section and leave a yes. Before moving into styling the parka, just want to go ahead and remember you guys to go ahead and follow me on Instagram. My stuff will be right there. I go ahead and post daily content, videos as well, some clips from here. I also give you guys some insights on my stories, kind of giving you guys what I'm going to be doing throughout the week. So if you guys follow me already, you guys have already known that I was going to go ahead and post something on parkas. So if you want to know more insights of what's coming up, definitely go ahead and give me a follow. Now, there is a billion ways to wear a parka. I'm just going to show you guys 2 ways to wear it, and they're going to be my 2 ways that I like to wear them. So first is going to be a little bit more dapper. Now you could definitely wear a suit jacket or a full suit under a parka. I think that some people think that only a top coat can go over your suit, but I think that That's a very common misconception. I think that if you're up north, especially where I'm at, you definitely don't want to like follow along that trend. You want to make sure that you're wearing the warmest thing possible for you. And I think that a parka looks really good over a suit. You can wear it over a suit jacket. Again, as I mentioned before, you want to make sure that the shoulders fit and everything else fit in order for you to be able to wear something else under it. Your style has to be functional, right? So if it's like negative degrees out and your top coat isn't going to like keep you warm enough, why would you wear the top coat? Wear your parka, bust out your parka, wear your parka. You're gonna be super warm and your body will thank you later. Now in this case, you'll see that I'm wearing just a normal blazer over this stuff that I'm wearing here. I'm wearing some khakis and I'm wearing some sneakers. So again, it's a little bit more dapper casual, but you guys get my point. You can wear a suit jacket under it, and that's the most critical point, that you can look dapper and still wear a parka. Now moving into the more casual wear, you could definitely wear this casually a billion different ways too. I just went ahead and took out the suit jacket in this case just to make things a little bit easier for you guys to see, and it's super simple, right? You could just go ahead and trade the khakis for some jeans, or you can go ahead and do a shawl, cardigan, something like that. You guys can definitely wear it a billion different ways. At the end of the day, guys, you just gotta make sure that you feel warm in what you're wearing, and you're gonna make sure that you're just surviving through the winter. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the style, and I hope you guys got some information as far as like fit and characteristics. And I encourage all of you guys to go ahead and pick up a parka this season. Try something different out, especially if you've just been wearing like top coats, a bunch of like wool coats, which nothing wrong with, but definitely go ahead and spice up your coat like armory with just picking up a parka. If you like this video, definitely go ahead and hit that thumbs up button down below. Again, if you've reached to the end of the video, I want to thank you for your time. I definitely appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button, go ahead and hit that bell button to receive notifications and to join the Martinez familia. And as always, style up.